Hello, everybody. Welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. I just almost fell asleep before I got this video done tonight because it's been a long week and it was capped off by a long day. I will probably entitle this The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Teaching Special Needs Young Adults. Because I normally have every other day with a severe needs kid, and I've mentioned him before, and we're pretty much sequestered. Um, there's a room called the sensory room. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. It seems like as kids get older, they need this stuff less, and that's the way it should work out. I think a lot of kids have sensory toys like, fidget toys, squeezy balls. Some kids need regulatory type of bigger apparatus like or apparati, whatever the plural is of apparatus, um, but like a swing, for example, or maybe like one of those big balls, that's like that you sit on but you roll on. So some kids need that stuff, and so that's where me and this kid usually spend every other day. And sometimes other kids will have to come in and use some of the sensory stuff. But like I said, as these kids get older, they need that stuff less. At elementary level, we use it quite a bit. Middle school level less, and high school even less. Now, so that's the room we're usually in. And since my friend did not show up today, I wasn't there today, and so I had kind of a quote unquote normal day. And I just wanted to go through that because it really was a good, bad, and ugly day. So I started off with a kid. Actually, I started off helping out in the kitchen where there's we do. This is once again a big difference between middle school, or excuse me, elementary and middle school, and high school, is that we have a kitchen. They introduced that in middle school. The kids are kind of starting to encourage independent skills like cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. We have a washer and dryer. Some of the kids learning how to do laundry. We have a dishwasher. That's a nice little perk, actually. We don't do our dishes really. I use dishes at lunch, which I often do because I bring my own lunches and just heat them up. That is encouraged to be left in the sink, and the kids will actually, as part of their duties, and part of what we call community, was where they learn job skills and life skills. They put the dishes in the dishwasher and operate it. As a matter of fact, Dante, I was just shown this last week. This was pretty cool. Dante was shown. He graduated in 2016. They still have this video, so this video is at least 5 years old. It's Dante and another girl named Madison. Being they're showing how to do load and run the dishwasher, and it's there's a voiceover by one of the teachers. She still teaches there, Miss Cleveland, and she narrates what to do while Dante and this girl do stuff, do load the dishwasher. Sorry, that's a long way to get there, and like I said, I'm kind of tired. But so I was in the kitchen. I helped with a very, very severe needs kid. Helped him get toileted. Um, Tried to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my day. I was told, oh, go to my boss, and unfortunately he wasn't available. So I just helped out in first period. By the time second period rolled around, we'd figured out my schedule for the day, and I would help this kid. And not very severe needs, but just has some emotional. He definitely has developmental disabilities as far as um, thought and processing, and just intelligence. But he's definitely not a stupid kid. He knows a lot. He has the higher end level as far as that goes. But he's got some stuff going on, and so I took him to gym, and that went pretty well. And there were a couple other kids there that were in the gym, and there was another para there, and she unfortunately was not really doing her job that well. She was just kind of sitting there. She said her back hurt, and I was like, "All right." Even the gym teacher said, "Are you gonna get up and move around because this is gym, and that's what you're supposed to encourage the kids to do." One of the kids went over and sat next to her because that was modeled behavior. I stayed in the middle of the gym because it was chaotic. This is where it gets a little crazy. There were like two gym classes combined together today, which I don't think is a great idea, and it was just a free for all. They were letting kids play soccer, they were letting kids play volleyball, they were letting kids play basketball, all in one gym. And I'm just amazed people didn't run into each other more and get hurt more, but it seemed like it pretty much went off without incident. The kid I was with was playing basketball, and then I hung out right in the middle of the gym. I have with one of my one of her two kids technically, and he was just spinning, just a Down syndrome kid spinning right in the middle of our symbol in the middle of our gym, which is fine. But I wanted to make sure he didn't get hit by a flying ball or a running kid, so I stood there next to him. And eventually, the other para, who's like half my age, she came out and brought the other kid out and tried to get him to move too. So that was good. That leads me to this. Right before this, we had a meeting, and every para was brought in there, and I was like, "Oh man, this is not good." Our boss brought us in there. There was a video, our film, or whatever you want to call it. Our media equipment was set up because we have cameras all over this entire school, like I've mentioned in the past. And so we all sat down in this classroom. We looked like a bunch of kids in a high school classroom. Like a dozen paras in there, 14, whatever there are of us. And my boss is in there. And then one of the assistant principals is there. And then another lady, I don't know what she is. I don't know if she has to do with security. I assume she does. So I haven't met her till this year, but I forgot what her title was. Basically showed us a 10-minute video of the gym again. This happened last week, and it was chaotic in there. It wasn't chaotic as it was today, but I've seen this happen in the past. I am very active when I go to gym because I'm basically a 14-year-old kid at heart, and it also is good to set an example for these kids and just have fun with these kids. I played soccer, football, basketball, everything I could with these kids last year, and they appreciate it, and we have a lot of fun, and it gets the kids to get active. A lot of paras don't follow this example. Paras, once again, half my age, sitting there on their phones, not really doing their job. So what happened a few days, I think this was actually yesterday, one kid took another kid, a male took a female, into some locker rooms that are back there, and nobody was paying attention, and for 10 minutes exposed himself to her, and apparently had him touch her. This is once again, this is somewhat conjecture, but a lot of this has been confirmed by what the kid told. One kid was a higher functioning kid than this other kid, the male versus the female, and there will be charges pressed by the female's family. And this is really disappointing, and I felt bad for my boss. My boss is such a nice guy, and he treats us like adults. And he's got a few, and he was super, super nice, almost too nice. I think I would have been a little more upset than he was. He's like, I know it's hard, and you guys have hard jobs, and you're all wonderful. And I don't know if I would have been quite as complimentary as he was. And so he, before this video show, and it did, you see the entire 10 minutes, these kids go back into these locker rooms and disappear, and then they come out and are finally discovered. And it was, once again, all the paras are in the corner. Some are kind of watching, some are kind of not. And it's like, as soon as the video was over and everything was talked about by my boss, a couple of the paras go, well, it's really chaotic, or it's not fair for us to be expected to watch those kids go into there, and we don't have enough people. No, bullshit. We have plenty of people. Nobody went down to that end of the gym. All I said was, secure a perimeter. That's all I said. And I could feel the breathing down my neck by a couple of these paras, because like I said, I wasn't there I wasn't there yesterday. I was in another area with other kids. And this is upsetting because, just like, don't make an excuse. Just do your fucking job. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with administration. It's about the fucking kids. And so it was very upsetting. I mean, I imagine being a parent, you send your very fragile daughter, and this girl's a sweet girl, very sweet, but nonverbal, Down syndrome, decent functioning, actually. I've seen her do some work in class that shows maybe, I don't know if she'll ever be independent, but that she can do some stuff, and she could maybe do a job, And then when I relate to my son Dante, and luckily he got a pretty good education, nothing, as far as I know, horrific ever happened to him. There's no evidence of that. But this girl's a freshman. She's been in school a month, and this other kid's also a freshman, and now she's been exposed, literally and figuratively, to the bad side of education, to this other child. It doesn't sound like she was assaulted, but it sounds like she was basically shown parts, and maybe even asked to touch parts, and I don't know, that's bordering on assault. So I'm closing in on 10 minutes already. I guess I'll make this a two-parter because I didn't expect to get this into it. But there's good news at the end of the two-parter. You know, it wasn't, like I said, good, bad, and ugly. So talk to you guys on part 2. Thank you for watching, you guys. Love you all. Bye.